Hey YouTube, this is Accyrsed, and today I'm going to be showing you yet another update to the Elsword model reader. I've been fiddling with it since yesterday. I'm pretty sure I just made the last upload for this yesterday. And now, if you notice, there are 3 exe files. So I'm going to reopen the compiler, and I'm going to make an interesting thing using new methods. I'm just going to call this the new method test. And I'm going to fill out the top, and then I'm going to skip to when I complete it as to give a surprise as to what this does. So I will be back shortly. And I'm back. I was about to apologize for the long wait time, but actually that was not much of a wait time, that was just a skip. On that note, there is a slight inconsistency with this frame here compared to when I left. If anyone can find that and point it out in the comments that I could visibly see, not through a private message, but in the comments itself, I will give you a shout out for figuring out what the huge inconsistency is with this next part. Anyway, I'm going to go over the new methods or whatever with the rigger. I'm just going to tell it to go. I created a script, saved it, and loaded it up. I'm just going to tell it to go. I know I don't have PMD editor open, but this uses no PMD editor methods, only the new ones from the past video and this one, just those. I will run it anyway. So, remember the message boxes? There's more. I think I made it. Yeah, I keep forgetting. Putting 2 commas in a row. Putting two commas in a row replaces it with, well, a period. I think it should. Ignore this. It will still yield the result. I haven't actually fixed that out. So it's generating something. Oh. I made a mistake. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I'm back once more. Sorry about that. I did not realize that I had a slight issue. I've been running this thing and testing it with a certain file name, and in moving the file, I kind of messed up the file name, so I had to recompile it with the correct file name. And again, inconsistency, but this one's not significant, so if that gives any hint. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it. I'm just going to start as I did before. I know PMD editor is not open. I'm just going to tell it, remember messages, or the message boxes, yeah, that's normal. There's more than that. Give this a second to load. Here we go. Take a look at this. Opens up this little tiny thing, and if you remember, choose an item. Oh, actually not if you remember. Yeah, I built this little thing. It says choose an item with the options of Code Battle Seraph, Void Princess, and Grandmaster. You just scroll through the box, and for example, I'm going to pick, I'll just do Code Battle Seraph. I'm going to click OK. You selected Code Battle Seraph. Pretty cool, right? It spits out these little files. If you notice menu result and all that, it spits them out in the background, and it keeps track of what's what. So now I'm just going to click OK and go through what? Yep, I'm just ignore the message you selected Code Battle Seraph and OK code 0. That is a bug. What does menu result say? I've got to read this one. Okay, there's an issue with my code, but it should say Code Battle Seraph. I must have messed up my if somewhere. No limit to the number of choices in the drop list. Yeah, that's kind of expected. Yeah, it goes on infinite amounts. There are 10 per section before you have to scroll, but you can put as many as you want. Next part's really, really cool. I don't know why it's still doing this, but ignore that. Eh. Okay. Nope. Yep, that did not work. Something broke here. I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, I am back yet once again. Sorry about that. I'm going to kind of explain what this is in just a moment. I'm going to run this script. I'm having issues with it, but it's probably because it's in exe form. So what it's supposed to do is generate this menu class, which should then run this, but the fact that I have the word build 0 and it's an exe as compared to whatever it was before, it's having issues. So I'm going to run this like it would have run normally, and now it opens a picture box selection. Gives you 3 options, you can pick one and click OK. It'll spit out the number that you give into the variable you assign. So you can essentially give pictures. The cool thing about this is if you give it a certain number of pictures, it will change the box size and scale the pictures based on the number of them. So currently there are 3 options, so it puts it in a 2x4 grid. So anywhere from 3 to 8 options is a 2x4 grid. Anywhere from 1 to 2 options, I don't know why you'd want 1, but 1 to 2 options is just a 1x2 grid. And then it eventually goes up to a 3x6, then a 4x8, and a 5x10. Kind of by then, though, it's kind of pointless, but okay. I'm just going to give you a general idea. I'm just going to pick one and click OK, but it's going to delete the file. It outputs a file quickly, menu result somewhere, and then deletes it immediately when the rigger comes back up. But yeah, I'm having slight issues with it. It used to work fine. It was working fine before. But eventually, soon enough, there will be a picture box selection thing. When I open up the compiler and show you exactly what one of those looks like, it just looks like, ignore that, this. You just give it present picture box, and then give it a variable, and then this is the prompt of text that actually doesn't show up just yet, so I just write the word prompt and ignore it. The vertical line, and then each one of these between vertical lines is a file name where the periods are 2 commas. It must be 2 commas. And then put a colon and then the selection under that you want. So for example, I'm just going to remove the grandmaster here and just leave the other 2. Save the script as. This is a little buggy saving it, so I'm going to save it as method test 5. Made a mistake. I probably should have done that just so I can track it if it's wrong. Resave it. Open up the rigger and really hope that this does not mess up. It's broken. Yeah, there's a compiler bug where it only compiles right about a third of the time. It's kind of annoying, and I don't know why it does it. It's been doing this recently, though. I'm going to look into it. There we go. It's working now, so I can close that out. Yeah, when you're saving scripts with this, it's a good idea to make sure they actually uncompress. I don't know where the issue is coming along. I'll look into it at some point, but I haven't had the chance just yet. Anyway, I'm going to tell it to go. Yep, it's going to run, generate its menu class, and fail to open the handler. So I'm going to open the handler, and if you notice, now there are 2 options. And you can select one of them. But if you notice, I just changed a little bit of code, and it scaled the pictures accordingly. I had one that had 9 to show you what a 9 to 24, I think it was. No, that's not correct. 9 to 18. Sorry about that. Grid was. The window size changes a little bit, but the OK button, I think, yeah, it always takes up half in the bottom right. There's no cancel because I didn't really know if it would be a good idea if this thing was canceled. I feel like it's kind of a forced sort of thing. The closing, right now it's allowed closing, but if it's closed in this, the drop down or the pictures, it does not work. And it just spits out the error, I'm saying that wrong, ERROR in all caps, into the variable. Selecting one of these, this will put 1, this will put 2. If you don't select any and you click OK, it outputs 0. Again, I don't really know if that has much of a use, but I left it there. On that note, yeah, so just selecting one of these, it'll continue the script, and it puts it in the variable. I haven't actually tested much for it, and I'm having slight issues with this sort of thing, but that's what I get for this sort of program. If you notice, there's a bug with graphics, the image. I'm going to fix the icons again. I apparently messed them up. But, oh well, it's not too much of an issue. I don't think there's actually much else to this update. Other than the fact that, well, actually, I think that's it. I don't know why that got sorted around. There we go, that looks better. Wondered why everything was weird. Yeah, so that's, I think that's about it. I mean, it's still buggy. I get that. And it creates files that it immediately deletes. The reason it creates those is I don't know how to convert them between programs without an actual solid block of text. I'm not that great of a programmer. I'll be honest. I don't know much. So that's best I've got. But, Thanks for watching. Sorry about all the bugs, but I just finished this and it was working great before it was compiled. And then I compiled it and it bugged out a little bit, so I'll look into that soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another update.